If you're starting an online business and you haven't figured out how to find your niche and stand out among all the billions of other people online, then you will struggle to build a successful online business, and you might fail completely. This is the third video in our series on starting an online business. Today we're going to dive into two crucial aspects that will lay the foundation for your business's success: how to find your niche market and creating a detailed buyer persona or customer avatar. I'm going to give you a checklist of the best tips and strategies that the top marketing coaches like Pat Flynn, John Assaraf, Stas Prokofiev, Paul Murphy, to name a few, this is what they teach their students. And I've compiled a 7-point checklist which will help you to answer your questions about how to find your niche market, the one that will work best for you, and how to identify your ideal customer avatar. So let's dive right in. I want to say, don't believe all this BS and hype you hear online about follow your passion. If it happens that your idea for your online business is your passion and also ticks all the other boxes that we're about to look at, then fine, go for it. Building a business around something you genuinely care about brings a higher level of enthusiasm and dedication to the venture. And passion is contagious. And so when you're passionate about your niche, it reflects in your content and your products and your interactions with your customers. And this authenticity and genuine interest can attract like-minded individuals, leading to a more engaged and loyal customer base. However, if your passion is underwater basket weaving or something just not very good at, and you try to build an online business out of it, well, it's likely to fail. There are easier and likely more profitable niches to start with anyway. It's much more important to pick a niche that aligns with your natural abilities and expertise, whilst also having good potential for profitability. So look for niches where you can provide unique value or solve specific problems for your target audience. Passion is great, obviously, but look, I'm sorry, it's just not enough to guarantee success when starting an online business, and that's a mistake you really want to avoid. Now, secondly, when it comes to picking a niche, bigger is not always better. We're obsessed with bigger, but the fact is, bigger niches make it harder to stand out. And as more and more people start online businesses, your ability to stand out from the crowd is critical. Pat Flynn advises it's better to become well-known in a smaller, well-defined niche and develop an incredible solution to offer that particular industry or market, and just continue to iterate on it and make it better and better. So very often, smaller is actually better. And some people refer to this as niching down. But that can be a bit misleading. I prefer to think of it as specialization is better. So my advice is to aim to become a specialist in a well-defined, smaller niche. So, for example, it's much better to offer your service to a narrow professional industry, like, say, divorce lawyers, than to a broad group of all lawyers. Smaller is better, and narrower focus is better. And so here's some suggestions for how to specialize and narrow it down. The obvious one is gender. So your online business may be for a particular gender. So, for example, if you were starting an online business related to golf, you could consider just focusing on male golfers. And then on top of that, you could look at age and generation. So using the golf example, if you decided to focus on male golfers, then maybe you could narrow it down further and specialize in solving the unique problems that baby boomers or retired male golfers face. And another approach is to stack these on top of each other. So take a successful niche, narrow it down, and then narrow it down even further. One of my coaches, Paul Murphy, refers to this as creating a market of one, which is a good way of thinking about it. So, for example, your niche might be left-handed male golfers over 60 with back problems. Now, that's pretty specialized. Yeah. And one other aspect of this to consider at this stage is how big do you actually need your online business to be in order to satisfy your reasons for starting the business in the first place. Now, is your goal to build a business that delivers profits of 1 million plus every year? Or is your target a more modest 100K per year, for example? If you factor this into your thinking, it might enable you to target a smaller, more super specific niche, which is still big enough to meet your financial goals. Okay, So that's 1 and 2. Moving on to 3. We've covered passion and we've talked about optimal size of your potential niche. Now let's delve into the research you need to do. I suggest that to start with, you use online tools like Google Trends, keyword research tools like vidIQ, and social media analytics, which will all help you to gauge the interest and the demand for your potential niches. You can also explore in popular forums, discussion boards, Facebook and LinkedIn groups related to your areas of interest, so you can understand the pain points and the discussions that are going on within those target audiences. And as well as online research, I recommend you reach out to potential customers directly through surveys and interviews or polls, and that could give you valuable insights into their preferences, and challenges, and their expectations. So when you combine the quantitative and qualitative data, you can make more informed decisions about the viability of a niche and its potential for success. And also look at the industry. Are members of your niche from a single professional group or industry? And if you focus on a subset of a specific professional group, for example, the niche is much easier to penetrate. So your communications can be much more specific. And for example, you can, your emails can be you can email a specific newsletter to your target group. You can market to the niche through its local, national, or even the international professional organizations. You could forge alliances with suppliers which serve the same niche. And similarly, it's a major advantage if the members of your proposed niche feel like they belong to a coherent group, simply because members are more likely to forward your promotional material to others and your content to others if they know who the others are. Yeah? Okay, so let's move on to the next stage, the 4th stage, which is critical. So you have already started to focus in on the niche that could work best for you. Now let's think about another key qualifying criteria, which of course is profitability. So here's some tips to help you pick the most profitable niche. And we've talked about size already. So clearly the niche must be big enough to supply you with as many clients as you need. So in my previous example of male golfers over 60 with back problems, is that niche big enough? Well, I've not done that level of research. I'm not in that niche. But if you can offer a scalable solution to a global audience, then very likely it would be. Yeah. And if on the other hand you're a chiropractor offering services to male golfers over 60 with back problems in your local area, then potentially it wouldn't be. Maybe not, right? And the other big factor to consider is affordability. The people in your niche, they must be able to afford your fees and prices. So, in the example we're talking about, male golfers over 60 in your specific region, it probably has a vastly greater potential for income than, say, junior golfers, for obvious reasons. And the other key thing around profitability is analyzing the competition. And competitor analysis is obviously a crucial aspect of niche selection. Studying your competitors will give you really valuable insights into what works and what doesn't work in your chosen niche. So you can observe the successful strategies and you can see gaps or weaknesses in the market. And you can learn from the mistakes that you see others making. And this kind of knowledge can be leveraged to create a USP, a unique selling proposition, that will set your online business apart from your competitors and position you with a better solution for your target audience. I'll come back to USP in a moment. But what I wanted to say was, don't be discouraged if you see a lot of competition, in the niche that you're looking at. See it as a validation of a very viable market, because ideally there would already be successful businesses operating in that niche. And that suggests that people will pay to have a specific need addressed. So a competitive niche indicates that there is demand. But of course, it also calls for innovation and differentiation. Yeah. So we really need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of those competitors. And then you can see the opportunities for you to offer something new or better to those potential customers. You can also engage with your competitors' customers to understand their pain points and preferences better. And that'll provide you with valuable insights for you refining your own business strategy. Ideally, you want to find underserved niches. Many similar services already being offered in that niche, but not, overcrowded with competition. And then the potential for your business will grow faster in that kind of underserved industry than in a highly developed one that has many competitors trying to meet the same need. So to succeed in a big way, find an underserved niche, provide information, content, solutions that are desperately wanted and needed, and for which there is a burning need, an intense perceived need for the niche, for the type of content and the type of solutions that you're going to provide, and make sure that they really are concerned with the sort of solutions that you're offering as part of your service. So that the more intense their pain, or conversely, the more attractive the benefit that you'll help them to realize, the more profitable the niche will be for you. Hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on to number 5, and this is the real secret, right? So by this stage, you've pretty much selected a niche, and you've defined your ideal customer avatar as well. However, you should not stop there, right? Don't stop there. And this is a mistake many people make, and I've been guilty of this as well. See, the real secret to niche marketing, and it took me too long to grasp this fully, is that your messages have to be super specific and highly targeted and focused in your, so your target audience really resonate with the messages you're sending out, and the problems that you're trying to solve will be exactly what they have, right? So it has to be extremely personal, as in your target buyer feels like you're speaking directly to them personally, and your content speaks to their unique needs. That's what makes it compelling. Now, to get to that, you've really got to define a very clear target audience in a very detailed way. And that's the key to effective marketing and communication. So creating detailed buyer personas that represent your ideal customers. And it should include all the demographics or information that you'd expect, age and gender and location, education, occupation. But it needs to go way beyond those basics and delve into their interests, their aspirations, their challenges, their real pain points, and their values, maybe their politics, all those sort of aspects, So compile a very detailed profile of the ideal client for your business. List all the external factors like the demographics we've talked about, and the internal factors like the psychographics, and all the issues and problems and challenges that they face. What keeps them up at night? What do they want? What do they really need? What is the main outcome that your prospects might want as a result of using your service? What benefits do they want to get from using a service like yours? So what is your prospect's main concern when they're buying? Is it price, delivery, performance, reliability, service, maintenance, quality, efficiency? What motivates them to buy? Once you develop a clear understanding of their goals and challenges and motivations, you're going to be in a much, much better position. So you're creating this comprehensive profile. That means you'll be able to craft really targeted marketing messages off the back of it that speak directly to their needs and their desires. So understanding the motivation and pain points of the target audience enables you to really be out in front of your competition, and it'll resonate with them on a much deeper level, right? And it means that you can develop products and services that directly address their needs and desires. Yeah. So basically, it means you need to know your audience inside out, right? And then you can position your brand as the go-to solution for your customers' specific problems. And that will give you much stronger customer loyalty and probably plenty of word-of-mouth referrals. And the key to all that is this: every successful business, online business, solves a problem or fulfills a need for its customers, probably more than one, right? So really spend time on the pain points and challenges faced by your customer avatar within your chosen niche, because it's critical. And then get all your solutions listed out so that you can see, like for like, where the challenges and pains are and how they match up with what you're offering and how you will solve their problems. Okay? And in that way, you're really going to position your business as a valuable resource in the eyes of your customers. Yeah. So you focus on the benefits you're offering and how they can make your customers' lives easier or better or more enjoyable. Yeah. And the more effectively you do this, the more loyal your customers will be. Yeah. And the better your positive reviews will be, the more repeat business you get. Yeah. Now, I think I probably labored the point, but you get it, right? So number 6 on my list is, once you've done all the above, then you should be able to identify your USP, your unique selling proposition that we spoke about earlier on. Yeah. And that's what makes your online business stand out from the competition. And that's really the name of, the key to what we're trying to do here. And that's the reason why, why will customers choose you over others? Yeah. Or there are other options in the market. Your USP has to be clear, it has to be compelling, and it has to be focused on the key benefits that differentiate your products and services from all the others, right? So to develop a strong USP, I guess, really think about what makes your offering unique, right? What specific problems it solves and what benefits it provides that your competitors do not. Yeah. Using all the research we've talked about, we gathered above, assess your strengths and expertise. Yeah. And identify what sets you apart from the others in your niche, right? Yeah, it could be superior product quality or exceptional customer service or faster delivery times or a combination of factors, it will depend, right, on what sector you're in, what type of business. But it needs to be those combination of factors that make your business special. Yeah. And once your USP is established, it should be incorporated into all your marketing materials, from all your website content, your social media content and posts, your product and descriptions, your promotional campaigns, everything. And a consistent communication of your USP will reinforce your brand's value in the minds of your target audience and really establish a strong position in the marketplace. Okay, so let me sum it up. So you've taken the time to clarify your niche and your customer avatar in very specific detail, because that's where the breakthrough happens, right? There's an awful lot of generic information out there, okay? But there's not as much very specific content that's specifically positioned and powerfully targeted, right? So understanding your niche and your buyer persona on a deep level will give your marketing an edge and enable you to stand out. And lots of, all the marketing experts like Russell Brunson, Ryan Deiss, and Neil Patel, I've worked with these guys, and they all emphasize building a client profile helps you tailor your marketing messages, offer strategies that will resonate with your ideal customers. Right? All right. One final point. This is my last point. I said at the start of this video that doing all this research to find your niche, get your ideal customer, it's all critical, right? And it is. Clearly it is. But there's something that's even more critical, and that's actually getting started with your online business, right? And this is something that stops people, all this research and thinking about where to go, it stops people getting started a lot quicker than they actually should do. It's a mistake I made. I procrastinated for too long because I couldn't decide what niche I needed to choose to get started. So, you need to get the balance right. And my advice, based on my experience, my personal experience, and the advice I'd been given by the marketing mentors, is to time box this piece. And spend no more than a week doing the research that I've talked about and to decide on your niche, make that decision and move on. And, with all the AI tools and online tools we have available for research now, that's very achievable. And it'll really help to prevent any risk of analysis paralysis, All the top coaches I've worked with really emphasize this. The saying is, done is better than perfect. So when you're setting up your first online business, the most important thing you want to do is to figure out if it will work and how it works. Yeah. So you choose a niche, you get started on your systems, you create a skeleton, end to end. So sometimes you'll hear people call this, a MVP, a minimal viable product, right? And the reason for that is you want to test your entire marketing process, right? Yeah, and then you want to iterate around this process and improve it as you go. And if you spend too long on any particular part, it's going to really slow you down too much, right? And this is what helps entrepreneurs avoid investing significant time and resources in a niche that may not be as profitable as you initially thought, right? Okay, I've covered all 7 points. If you want to dive deeper into any of the concepts or explore any additional resources, there will be links somewhere around this video, so you know what to do. I've gathered together a ton of free resources from some of the best marketing coaches in the world. Trust me. So click the link below, and you'll get immediate access. In the next video, I'm going to go deep into how to construct your marketing ecosystem that will drive the growth of your online business. So I look forward to seeing you on that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.